how fast you were going?
What? How fast you were going?
I don't know. 10?
8.
Be advised, this is an explicit podcast. If you're easily offended, get your panties twisted into a knot. Leave now. Run in your safe space. Get your little cloth for your tears. All the opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and his guest and do not reflect the opinions of any local or government agency. Welcome to another episode of MOTORCOP Chronicles podcast. I'm your host, Iceman. We're going to get the housekeeping out the way. Then we're going to introduce actually in-studio guest in the clubhouse this evening. So go like and subscribe if you're happen to like to watch the lives on on video, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. Hit the little bells and stuff so you'll be notified when we go live every Wednesday night. If you're listening to the audio and you're on Apple, go write a 5-star review. I'll shout it out. Spotify, you can't write one, but you can leave stars if you're on Spotify. Appreciate it. Helps with the algorithm. Helps get us out there. I just added some new merch to the Etsy store. You can check the links in the bottom of the description. It'll send you over there. It's a new purple shirt. It's on the back of it. It has a little smiley face. Smile, the Iceman can be behind you, stuff like that. I actually have it on right now. It's a good shirt. And some cell phone stands. Got more of them for the box and Freebird from when they're in studio to put their phones on. Anyway, we got all that crap out the way. Let's get to our guest. We'll introduce him. His nickname that we just made up is called the Bumper Jumper. He can, if he wants to, he can explain to why he got that nickname. But let's introduce him. We'll give him a little applause here. Probably the only time anybody's ever clapped for him, ever.
That is true. That is absolutely true.
We got the Bumper Jumper here. Now, how long you been in law enforcement?
Oh, let's see.
A long time.
Yeah. So let's just put it this way: I've been in law enforcement long enough that had I been in charge of Jesus' detail instead of Judas, the Bible would have had a different ending. Yeah.
There you go.
So over 30.
What you been here? You got over 30?
Over 30.
You ain't ready to retire?
Yeah.
I'm getting close.
I hear you.
I got 3 left, and that's up in the air if I'm going to keep going or not. We will see. Everybody says you're going to do drop. I'm like, don't know.
Don't know.
Ask me in 3 years, or you might not see me.
Correct. Ask me tomorrow.
I don't know. So that's good. I can ask you the questions. We had talked about it. I haven't done it in a long time with guests. So what is your favorite drink?
This one's kicking pretty good right here, and I'm not much of a peach feller.
Yeah, I got some peach whiskey with some peach crush in there. It's pretty good.
I think it's more peach crush than whiskey, but we'll talk about that later, Mr. Bartender.
Try not to get my guests too smashed up while we're talking. I only while we're trying to talk.
His battery ran dry.
So you don't just have a regular go-to?
Typically I'm a whiskey. I don't drink much, but I'm a whiskey guy. I like whiskey. Currently hitting the over-the-counter maker's mark there, and but I'll drink a beer.
Yeah, makers ain't too bad.
No, it's I like the it doesn't have a hella aftertaste because I was raised on the greatest whiskey ever known to mankind. Outside of Mad Dog 2020 as a drink itself, which was Evan Williams. And if you've never had that, I'm pretty sure you could clean battery terminal posts with it.
That's kind of like Jim Beam or something.
Correct.
Like that.
Yeah.
It's the ones at the bottom of the shelf.
It is that's the ones that I could reach. And you know the reason for that. So.
But if you ever decide to spend a little bit extra money, get you some Elijah Craig.
Okie dokie.
Delicious. It's real smooth. It's not quite mid-range, just a little step above, but it's well worth the extra money.
Gotcha.
Do you have a favorite movie?
Yeah, I do. It's kind of probably an off the wall movie, but
I know. It's Debbie Does Dallas.
yes.
That's it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
knew it.
I thought it was Denver. No?
No, it's
My bad.
Dallas.
It's
Yeah,
Dallas?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Denver. That's the.
I don't pay attention to all the titles.
You don't listen to the monologue.
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
not. I'm just there for the pictures. I mean, the articles. My bad. My
It's a
bad.
movie. It's got art.
Well, okay. Well, articles, movies, whatever the case may be. There's wordage.
What is your favorite movie?
13 Hours, actually, out of all the movies that I've caught recently, and I stopped watching movies and going to theaters and whatnot a long time
Yeah,
ago.
they don't make good movies anymore.
No, but 13 Hours, when I realized that Michael Bay was going to be the director of that movie, and I was a big Transformers kid, and when Michael Bay made the Transformers movies, and I was kind of impressed about that. I was like, but Michael Bay is going to make 13 Hours, and man, kick-ass movie, in my opinion, kick-ass movie. So that's my favorite movie.
Cool. Favorite restaurant?
Currently, Don's. Except for the credit card issue.
They got good charbroiled oysters. over
Almost
there.
got that. I almost got that. I don't know why I got what I got, but it was Alfredo pasta and shrimp.
Bam likes to get the seafood salad when she goes to Don's.
I get salads all the time. All the time I get what? I get salads all the time. Seriously.
Yeah, they just jam so much seafood in it. It's just I can't hear you. You need me to turn the mic on? Do you want to talk?
Bread pudding.
Oh, bread pudding.
Yes, it's disguised as a salad.
Oh, that's not salad.
It is salad. It is.
That's like saying I don't know. Green Jello is a salad because it's green. It's not. Oh.
But that's the one. 13 Hours currently, unless something else comes along.
Yeah, they don't make good movies like they used to anymore.
I was never, unfortunately, I was never a history buff when I was coming up, ever. AD, double D's, whatever. I'm not sure what it's called, but anyway, there was no such thing when I was coming up. You got smacked in the back of the head and got told to straighten up.
Called hyperactivity back when we
There
were growing
you go.
up.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was coming up through school, I had a hard time dealing with all that, and I never did pay attention a whole lot in class, and especially in history class, I just never could garner a taste for it. But if it's a historical type movie, not necessarily a documentary, but historical type movie, I'm kind of into it, especially if it's well made.
Well, most of the crap they make now is just crap.
Correct.
Or they're just trying to remake everything from like when they used to have good movies. I mean, how many times they've made Ghostbusters over? Like, I think they're working on the third one now or something. Remake.
Oh, yeah, the third
Yeah,
reboot.
and you can't remake. All you do is ruin it.
Yeah, you can't remake a classic.
No, you
That's
can't.
why the greatest movie ever made was Super Troopers. I mean, it was just an
That is an
incredible-
awesome
Dude.
movie right there. I mean,
that deserved all the
that should have got an Oscar and a Golden Globe.
Zero
and all
doubt.
that,
It deserved all the silver screen that was up there on the wall, every bit of it.
Yes.
I was surprised, however, because when they came out with Super Troopers 2, I was all excited.
I was
like,
me too, and I was so disappointed.
I wasn't as disappointed as I thought I would be. But
It took me twice watching to get all the way through it. It was nothing compared to the first one.
you had to pee a lot during the first one? Or?
No,
Okay.
the first one was just that good.
Oh, I got you. The first one was good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you.
I mean, mustache rides and
Oh,
all
without
that
a
stuff
doubt.
like
Yeah,
that.
I invented that, by the way. That's my part. That was my contribution.
Oh, you contributed
to
to that?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that was
Yeah.
my contribution to the movie,
Unfortunately, we do have Favres that work in every department also.
without a doubt. Who don't understand? Same team.
You're a 10 or 15 over guy.
I am today. Let's see, what was my highest? 102 and a 70.
Yeah, normally that.
I'm a 15.
You're 15.
I'm a 15 guy. Yeah.
I've been working my way. Well, it depends. Like I said, it depends where I'm at.
That is true.
Depends on what location. Lately on the highway, I've been giving 15
Yep.
unless it's just a slow day.
Yeah.
Local road, now if I'm just patrolling, running a hot radar, and I'll let 11 goes all the time because sometimes I just don't feel like spinning around to get one or
Yeah,
something.
because it gets difficult, especially on 2-lane local highways.
So it varies, but like I said, I pulled a woman over today on the local road. She was doing 46 and 25, and I would have written her a ticket, but I had to give her a warning because I failed to realize that I had left one of the most important parts of police work. I forgot to have it on my uniform.
There's 3 things that I always ticket book. Got to have that to write the ticket.
I had that.
Sometimes you have an empty holster.
No, I didn't have. I had my
got
gun.
that. Yep, that's bad mojo. We don't admit those things, by the way. We never admit that. Or you forgot your pen.
I forgot my
Yes,
pen.
you did.
Well, the problem is we got them newer uniform type shirts.
Yep.
And they're thinner than the other ones.
Yeah.
And my pen will like fly out or do something, so I just moved it, and I was in the unit and forgot to put it back. So she got a warning. I went to the Dollar General store and bought a pack of pens and stuff to leave in my motorcycle,
right,
so
yes,
that problem will not happen again.
Yep.
Because she just thought I was like really nice. She's like,
That was mine today.
she's like, oh yeah. I'm like, all right, you slow down. Oh, that was a good one.
Oh yeah.
639 feet too. Look at her. She looks old as shit. She's born 68.
Yeah.
What the hell she doing 102? She was late for trying.
She was late.
She was running from the Reaper, wasn't she?
She was late. She was late getting to her plastic surgeon.
Oh, was she really?
No, she was going to see her daddy. She was going to see her daddy. I'm like, okay, sweetie.
Was he dying?
Yeah, apparently that was my. I'm like, I didn't want to be rude to the lady, but I'm like, well, good God, is he on his deathbed or something? I mean, and then she absolutely pulled her over. She pulled over on the side of the road, and I get out and I walk up. She said, and I thought I recognized her because she turned out to be a local because I was actually working the interstate.
Don't get many of those on.
No, you don't actually, because literally she had from the entrance ramp of the interstate where she lived to come over an overpass and be at 102 miles an hour. So I want that vehicle.
What, a Nissan Maxima, was it?
No, it was a Pathfinder.
Oh, because them Nissan Maximas are fast.
Yeah, well, no, apparently the Pathfinder's not too
It's just a
damn bad
Nissan. Nissans must just be like some speed demon vehicle.
I guess so. What? A Honda CR-V spanked my ass. So I'm telling you, I want one of those as a patrol vehicle. Over 135 miles an hour, this thing's. I'm not even sure if it has a 6-cylinder in it. It might even have a 4-banger. I'm not positive, but it spanked 3 pursuit vehicles like it wasn't anything.
I know I've been in a couple pursuits with Nissan Maximas, and one got away. We caught one time, but they will scat them Nissan Maximas.
Right. My bodyguard here and I went on a pursuit, and we chased a 16-year-old she didn't have a driver's license. She stole her mama's car that was registered to her daddy, drove 2 towns away, picked up an unsuspecting 13-year-old, came back through town. The mama had reported the vehicle stolen. The local agency where she was at the time picked up on the vehicle. Pursuit starts. It was an Infiniti, I believe it was. It put 2 cop cars in a ditch, outran 2 Chevy Caprices with V8s in them. And I'm trying to think. There was a couple of Tahoes in there, but we literally lost two units in a ditch with this child driving this car like she had stolen it, which was convenient because actually she had stolen it. But it was a pretty legit pursuit. Like we had speeds of over 100 miles an hour with that vehicle. We had no idea who was in it at the time. So, an Infinity is a pretty decent little haul-ass vehicle as well.
Yeah, they make vehicles pretty spiffy now. They'll get up and go.
Indeed.
What is in your mind? I know you've been doing this for a long time, also. So, not if you're anything like me, stuff jumbles together. And
Without a doubt.
what is one of the most I don't know, funniest calls that you sticks out in your mind?
Well, I've got plenty of funny calls, and I've got some pretty funny private moments as well. So one of the when it was pretty early. I transferred from a major metropolitan area to what I thought was going to be a much slower pace area. Turned
Sometimes
out not to be.
Little areas get busier than them.
Yeah, well, apparently I was mistaken. But it was early on after I had transferred to the smaller agency, and we had a call for a shoplifter, and they gave a description of the guy. He was wearing baggy pants, baggy pants and red and white shoes. So just out of those two particular descriptors, he was fairly easy to pop when he came out the store. So, and one of the callers stated that he had a gun. That was never necessarily substantiated, but, it'll make your little tingle go up a little bit. So I'm sitting in the parking lot off to the side in the dark. He comes out the parking lot, so I go to make my approach. Another officer was coming from the other direction. And thankfully the other officer was coming. As I start to walk up to him, he sees me, and he kind of gives that, what do you call it, the Heisman?
Yeah.
It's not going. Well, I will chase you, I will, but I don't catch anything but a case of the red ass. That's all I catch. And most everybody knows it, so I got to catch them later, like when they're on the shitter or something. But anyway, so when he went to take off, he saw the other cop, and the other cop had longer legs than I did, so he thought maybe he probably couldn't get away from him. So we put him up against the car, and he's shaking, and I remember they said something about maybe he had a gun. I'm like, oh crap, well maybe he does have a gun. So I start patting him down, and he's just a shaking. So I'm like, calm down, dude. He didn't say anything. He's like, calm down, man. Calm down. It's going to be fine. Told him why I had stopped him. My partner's standing a couple of feet away. He wasn't right on top of him. So I patted around his ankles. I didn't find anything. So I pat the outside of his pants. Didn't find anything. I was patting the inside of his pant leg. And I grabbed what was undeniably the barrel of a gun, his waistband, and I clamped down on that bad boy, and his hands came off the car at the exact moment and grabbed my hand. Well, once I had my hand on the barrel, I'm not letting go. There's no way you're not going to get it. And I grabbed it and hung on to it, and the first thing that I thought was, good God, he's got a shotgun shoved down his pants. So he grabbed my hand and tried to pull my hand. I've got a hold of the barrel.
The barrel?
So I went to snatch the barrel or the gun away from him. Up come his legs, clean in the air. He's screaming bloody murder, and he lands flat of his back with my hand wrapped around what obviously at this point was no longer the barrel of a gun. So my partner, at first he was standing there with his mouth open, and I'm like, would you mind, let's put some handcuffs on this old boy. And the dude screaming, because I had apparently a G.I. Joe Kung Fu grip on the barrel of his gun, which turned out to be a baton, apparently. And I had him. I had a death grip on it, and we got the handcuffs on him and whatnot. So I finally said, man, let me let go of this thing, and I let go of it, and he was like, oh. So I kind of scratched my head a little bit, and I looked at him, and I said, that's not a gun, is it? He said, no, sir. He was polite about it. He's like, no, sir, that was not a gun. I said, okay, well, I feel the innate urge at this particular point to tell you just how sorry I am.
And I need to wash my hands.
That I tried to rip your dick off. He looks at me and didn't bat an eyelash, didn't spare a second, and said, well, "That's okay. I should have told you I had a big dick." And he had a baton. There's no doubt he had a baton. And that was just.
That's just one way to keep people from resisting. Just try to pull their dick off.
But I tried to get it from the root. Apparently, I was trying to dig it up like a potato. Well, I mean, because I literally thought I had the barrel of a gun. I had the barrel of a gun. So
you had a pocket rocket there.
It was definitely a Saturn V-twin.
Turbo booster.
Yes, turbo boosted, fire breathing rocket.
Oh, well, technically, I guess it could have been. If he'd have took it out and swung it and hit you in the eye with it, he could put your eye out.
I'd be dead. It's like that. The only thing that thing was missing was a hunk of lead at the end of it. That was it. Because I mean, I feel sorry for anybody that he was like actually using that against. I truly do. It would have been. There's probably a police report somewhere of an assault, which turned out to be probably voluntary to begin with, and then one of those shit no, you know.
So did you put that in a report? Because I went to search the subject, and I grabbed his very large penis and tried to pull it off.
Actually,
subject screamed and fell on the ground.
I think we made an agreement that if he didn't mention it, I wouldn't mention it. So I'm thinking to this day it was just an FI card, and we went on about our business.
Did it get any bigger while you had it in your hand?
I would not be able to tell you that because of the amount of time that it took me to realize, which seemed like 15 or 20 minutes, was actually like 0.5 seconds to realize that I had a handful of dick.
It's like, why is this gun getting bigger?
Yeah. This is the first metamorphosis of a firearm I've ever.
Through one of them expandable barrels.
Yeah, no kidding. We went from a handgun to a howitzer real quick, and
we've been doing this. We always ask, especially because Freebird, one of the part of the crew, Wednesdays. He did reserve stuff for like 10 years or more, but he never got that naked call.
Oh, okay. So I was not involved in this particular call, but there was a guy that lived around the corner from me at one point. I kind of like to live where I serve. It's just a little thing that I've got. So and plus we needed the residence because of a family matter. We bought a particular residence in town, and we had a guy that lived around the corner from us that probably taught other nutcases how to be nutcases. He's the kind of guy that would argue with himself in the mirror and lose the argument. So, and his cheese would slip off of his cracker from time to time. I kind of got two stories about that. So, we hear the call that he has. I think he assaulted his mother or something at that point, who was living with him at the time, or they were living together at the time. And he left out of the house. And when he leaves out of the house that way, he's generally dressed one of two ways. Everything he owns in August, including a wig. He put a wig on with a hat and I'm talking about trench coat, raincoat, you name it, 14 pairs of boxer drawers and a pair of sweatpants and whatnot, but usually barefooted. Or...
He's got to keep his feet cool.
Yes, absolutely. He's either dressed like that or nothing. Zippo. So we get the call. He left after the assault on his mother. He leaves. He's walking down the street, and I was probably, half mile away from the call. So I was driving down the street that he was allegedly walking on, and I put myself in service because I was not working that day. I put myself in service, and I said, "Can you give a clothing description of the potential person, of the suspect, whatever?" Dispatch comes back and says, "No, can't give you the clothing description." I'm like, "Okay, did the caller not provide it?" It's like, "Oh, yeah, the caller provided it. There's just no clothing description." I said, okay, so I'm looking for the naked guy. I got it. Thank you very much.
It's flesh colored.
Yes, you're correct. So we're driving down the street and whatnot, and sure enough, there's an officer that has seen him, and he's literally, you can tell because there was a lot of people out that day, and as you're going down the street, the people walking towards you were like the Red Sea. They were parting out of the way, and this cat's just walking down the street. Well, at the edge of that particular block he was on, another police officer had stopped and gotten out. And this guy was absolutely known for violent tendencies. And
who wants to tackle a naked
nobody
dude?
wants to touch this guy. Zero. So, the other two officers hadn't shown up yet, so he's standing there, and all he has is his gun and some Freeze Plus P. So he put that Freeze Plus P on him. And but when I tell you, this wasn't the kind you carry on your belt. It wasn't the...
He had one of them big clear out cans.
He had a can, Hoss. He had a can, like the barrel of that gun I was just referring to. And he popped loose with it. And, of course, everybody truly took off at that point and just hosed him down with that fire extinguisher.
Just lit him up.
Lit him up.
But if any of y'all have ever been sprayed with Freeze Plus P, and the only thing that really helps is air and time.
Yep.
You can wash off some residue. But then when you get home later that evening or the next morning and you forget and you get in the shower and it runs down to your body parts there and lights you up yourself.
So do you know what would be really helpful in that particular instance, or perhaps before that particular instance? Would that particular situation being written on the fucking instructions, that would be fantastic.
I warned everybody. I used to be a chemical weapons instructor. When I did, I would tell everybody, when you go home and take a bath, be real careful. And my main suggestion is if you're married or have a girlfriend or anything else, do not go home and stick your fingers in anywhere that's real sensitive to her, because you're either going to get divorced or you're going to get slapped in the face.
Might get your throat slit.
Because you're going to set her on fire.
Yes, correct.
No, but I would warn everybody.
Yep. No, I had no freaking clue whatsoever. So we got, and this was an exposure that one of my first exposures. I've had so many. Good grief. I was an instructor at one time as well. So by then you kind of, you're wise to the whole situation. But the first time that I ever got exposed,
it still burns, but it's not. It's not.
Right.
You know what it's going to do, so
Correct.
It still hurts, but it's not that hurt like, because if you've never been hit, you're like, oh, but after you've had it, been exposed so many times, it's like, okay, I know it's about to burn the fuck out of me, but I got to do this.
If I blink a whole lot.
Yeah.
Milk actually will help with the pepper portion. It doesn't do anything for the seeds.
No, but you get in front of like a window unit or a big fan and just let it blow on your face.
Yeah. So I had it run. I thought for sure I had gotten everything off and whatnot, and I'm standing in the shower, and I'm smart enough at that point, because they kind of said, just be real careful in the shower. Well, I kind of sort of figured out what that meant. But they were not explicit enough to educate this idiot on how soon not to stand up in the shower. So I'm bent over. I'm like being frisked in prison, and got the water running down and whatnot, and I thought I was good to go. And then I stood up, and I stood there, and I let that water run on my face and whatnot. And it didn't take but just a second or two later to realize that my crotch was on fire. It burns enough that if you had an ice pick, you might try to put the fire out with the ice pick, maybe.
The problem it's got a little bit
the crystal,
microscopic crystals,
yes.
And they get inside your pores, and when it hits that water, it reactivates.
That is correct, sir. You are absolutely correct. And I was unaware, again, didn't pay attention in school, science class included. I had no idea that, those kind of pores were in that porous area. And yes, sir, let me tell you what, and let me, and listen, I'm so glad you have an explicit podcast so I can say the word dick. So here's the deal. My dick, we've been through a lot. Okay, we have. When I stood up and that water ran down and just saturated my crotch, this is exactly what my dick said. And I quote, "What the fuck are you doing?" Listen, we got to talk. Okay, we have to talk. I have not said anything at all about all the shit you've put me through.
Or in.
That includes the coat hanger and the vacuum cleaner. We're not even going to talk about that. But I want you to understand right real quick. Here's my resignation. And that motherfucker quit right there. He's like, nope, I'm out. Y'all, you can forget it. I'm on work release.
Yeah, it will light you up. See, a lot of guys now, especially younger ones, you probably notice, they don't even carry gas no more.
No, I want it back.
I still carry it.
I'm out. I'm out.
Oh, because you ever look on me, I'm Taser certified and have a Taser.
Yep, me too. Yep.
But you don't see it on my belt. I carry my. Everybody's like, well, "Where's your Taser?" I was like, "I carry my gas." Taser works about 40-50% of the time,
maybe
if you're lucky.
But you got to get it hit just right.
That gas, it's pretty. I've only ever seen one or two people that could take a full face in it and it just didn't shake it off.
One person.
One
person we were fighting.
So it's 90-something% effective.
Yeah.
I sprayed a guy one time. Had a rookie with me. I sprayed this guy. And the guy turned around and took off running. And that rookie looked at me. I'm like, what? We ain't going to chase him? I said, we won't have to. Give him a second. Just give him a second. He's not going to get too far. He made it probably about 10 or 15 yards. Just went to his knees. First of all, I couldn't see where he was going no more or nothing like that, and he started burning. I said, no, go get him.
Yep, that is correct. I had a guy who shall remain nameless. Great guy, but you have to understand where we live and who all was allowed to come out and play, kind of deal. We had a fight. Oh, good grief. I'm talking about ding, ding, round one, and we're going all over the place. And this was back in probably the early 90s? No, maybe the late 90s. And the guy would come out and he would ride with me because I'd always go out and get in the shit. So he wanted to ride with me. So he rode with me. We went out. We got a call to the bar room. It's one block, and it just was nothing but a bar room. And it was a fight. We were rolling around the gravel, and we had several people. We closed the bar down. There was only like 4 of us, and we were fighting an entire bar room full of people, the ones that just didn't leave. And we had them all, 4 or 5 people in our units. Uniforms were absolutely ridiculous, torn up, full of gravel, dirt, and whatnot. Well, there was a steel door on the front of the bar. And this dude was smashed. He comes walking up, beating on the door. Bam, 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 bam. Well, the bar was closed and had been closed. We were just having a little choir practice before we went up to the station and booked all the people. Still sweating to beat the band. So I said, hey, man, bar's closed, brother. You got to go. Man, fuck you. I said, oh, geez, here we go. Bam, 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 beating on the door. There's nobody in the place. Like, everybody got the hell out and left. So I'm like, dude, the bar is closed. There's nobody in there. Go ahead on and take off. Man, I said, fuck you. I was like, oh, okay. So I looked at my partner. You ever heard that saying, hindsight is 20/20?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I looked at my partner, and I just didn't feel like screwing with it. I just didn't. I was like, dude, go make him go home. Now, this was the kind of guy who didn't do shit unless you told him to, because he just didn't want to get in trouble, which I get it. I absolutely understand that. So very generically, I said, dude, go get him out of here. Make him go to the house. Yes, sir. Just as calm and cool as he could be. Yes, sir. Now, this was back in, like, when the crack wars were, like, kicking ass and taking names later. You were getting warrants and pursuits and whatnot all the time.
Yeah, crack times were bad.
So he was wearing the traditional 2 pair of boxers, 2 pair of shorts, pair of blue jeans, pair of sweatpants, and so they could strip layers of clothing off while they were running. So my ride along, he walks over there, does not say a word. I can see him reaching towards the front of his belt, but I wasn't necessarily paying attention to what he was doing. I thought he was going to grab the guy and take him off. So right as he gets to him and goes to lay a hand on him, he pops the flap on his Freeze Plus P, pulls it out, reaches up and grabs this guy's waistband, pulls the waistband back and gives him one right down the backside. I was like, oh, no, okay, alrighty then, alrighty then. That guy stopped, turned around, and looked at him and said, bruh, what the, man, let me tell you. Oh, my God. When I tell you this cat straightened up like a 2x4.
He went from drunk to sober.
That's the fastest sober I have ever seen in my life. The dude put his hands on the wall going, oh, my God. He found religion. He found religion right there. He's got his hands on there going, oh, my Lord. Oh, Lord Jesus Christ. Oh, and then went to his knees. That cat started praying. The guy that did it turned around, put his freeze plus P back and said, he'll be gone in just a second.
That's not what I was talking about.
That's not what I meant, dude. That is not okay, you know what? Just come on. Sure enough, about 30 seconds later, that dude got up and hobbled away. Ass cheeks clenched so freaking tight you couldn't have got a pin in there.
If he didn't have hemorrhoids, we just caused
Correct.
something.
I mean, I could just tell, too, like he hit him on the crack of the ass and it rolled down. It was just as good to go till it hit that anus.
Got to that soft, man.
Got to that soft stuff, dude. Straightened him up like a 2x4, there's no doubt.
Yeah,
of course, I had to counsel the officer after that. Like, dude, come on now.
You can't be squirting people's assholes.
Can't do that, dude.
Just because they're acting in the ass don't mean you get to spray them in the ass.
Man. You can't do that. Lessons learned.
Oh, yeah.
Lessons learned.
We're not going to do tragedy stuff, huh? You still do SWAT stuff? You finally gave it up?
I retired from SWAT. I took that trip as far as I could take it.
I don't blame you. When I came out to this department and stuff, because I was a team leader in my old department, SWAT and stuff, and they were like, oh, you want to, I'm like, no. I was 51 now, so I was, my mid-40s. Yeah. I'm like, That's a young man sport. I don't heal up like I used to at all.
Yeah, I went from the position, and I got a little position, after so many years, and I was very privileged to have been voted into the positions that I held with the team, and finally wound up in a position of leadership with the team. And I think just after so many years of doing that, at some point you have to realize it's a younger man's game. It's time to just and the whole thing about supervision, in the way that I've always looked at it, is you may be good at your job, maybe, or somewhat good at your job, but you're never good enough at your job until you're training your replacement.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing a good job, wouldn't you want someone as good doing that job when you can't or don't want to do it anymore? So I was kind of working with 2 or 3 people after that, and just ever so slightly was just giving it to them. Here you go, here you go, here you go. And then when it was time, I just threw the gauntlet down and rolled out.
All right. Like I said, I got 3 years left, because if I do decide to stay on after them 3 years, hopefully I can find something else I enjoy doing, because I'll be, 54? Yeah. And being a MOTORCOP's a young man's job.
Yeah.
And
I would suggest, it's entirely up to you, but I would suggest marathon masturbation.
Yeah, well, no, I'm tired just thinking about it.
Well, you got to use both of them.
Just tired thinking about it.
You got to use both. You can't, and they make cool little things now. Don't ever go on the Wish app.
I don't do Wish no more. Ever since they did that stuff, their shipping cost went too much.
Oh, I'm not surprised in the least. But it doesn't matter what you search. If you were to search pink lily daisies, if there's such a damn thing, somewhere along the line, this little small thumbnail picture is going to pop up that you're like, what the hell is that? And as soon as you click on it, I think they make the pictures that size just for bait. That's what I think. And as soon as you click on it, you're like, I didn't even know they made shit like this. And now your feed is full of all of that shit. And then when your wife looks over your shoulder going, the hell are you looking at? Baby, I looked up a flower. I'm not joking. I'm seriously. Yeah, that's right. Sure you did. I'm like, okay, whatever. Look, baby, here's one you have to kickstart. It
probably is clickbait, because they do that knowing that people are naturally curious.
Yeah, if you can't see it.
And you want to click on it. What the hell is it?
Absolutely.
Clickbait.
Oh, so that's what a red ball gag looks like. I had no idea. Yeah. And well, there you go.
I was doing research for work.
Correct. Accidental research.
Keep coming. I know you got funny stories. That's what the listeners like to hear most of them, because they do have other podcasts out there, and every now and then I'll get serious with it. I try to stay more on the light side of it, because they got several other law enforcement podcasts, and some of them work or more on the
tragedy side.
Well, they're more on the serious side, training side, or the mental health side, and all
That's
that
true,
stuff like
which
that.
are all very important points, of course.
Oh yeah, I mean some of them I listen to all the
absolutely.
time. It's just I try to keep it on the funny side.
So I've tried to develop, which I was not born with a sense of humor. I was not, well, except that, that never did get very tall. That was God's way of being funny and trying to teach me a lesson. But so I've had to develop a sense of humor over the years, I suppose. So I could get serious. We could get serious. I can't imagine the stories that that are the serious or the tragedy type things. And it's like, why waste your time?
Oh, yeah.
You only get one go with this, man. Have fun. Have fun with it. Strange and unusual. Let's see.
You want to tell them about how we come up with the name, the Bumper Jumper?
Oh my God, it's urban legend, dude. Okay, I'll tell you this. I will neither.
Tell us the urban legend.
Yes,
now.
I will neither confirm nor deny. I'll put it that way, because I have been told that there's a witness. I don't know. So, eons ago. Oh my God, this has been so long ago, and this freaking story has stuck all these years. So we had a remote area of my zone at one time, and there was a guy over there causing a lot of shit. He was causing problems. He was a dope dealer. He would beat the crap out of his sister, his girlfriend, and his mother. Usually it was a trifecta at the same time.
Jeez. He was just a domestic violence smorgasbord.
He was a prick. He was an absolute prick. So the deal was that there was, where this guy was located, there was one road in one way, one road in another way, which made a 90-degree angle. That's the only thing I learned in math class, by the way, a 90-degree angle. So, but it made a 90-degree angle. Everything else, there's a set of railroad tracks close by, and then there were just fields and other residences that were around. Very, very, very small community in this particular little neighborhood. So we get the call. Sure enough, he's beat the crap out of whatever. He tried to set the house on fire or whatever the hell it was he was doing. So we go down there. He runs every time. He takes off running. So my partner and I, who may or may not be the witness that I'm referring to, decided, well, look, I'll go park on this street. You go park on this street. I'm next to the railroad tracks. You go park next to the cane field. And we'll wait and see if he's got to pop out. He's got to come out somewhere or spend the night out in the field. Sounds like a plan. Let's do that. So we did. So I go drive down, and I stop, and he goes and drives down. He stops. Got the lights out. And I've got my binoculars out, and I'm looking down the road. Oh, I don't know, 45 minutes later. And it's the middle of summertime. So I'm thinking, this dude is getting tore up by mosquitoes. Nothing. So about 45 minutes later, I see some rustling in the bushes. What I thought was rustling in the bushes. And here comes a guy. He steps out to about where a ditch would be, close to the roadway. And I'm trying to, there's no lights, like there's just moonlight. So I'm trying to focus in my binoculars, and the guy trots across the road. So I jump on the radio and tell my partner, I said, I got him. I'm on my way. Come on up. So I drive up, and I turn into the driveway that I saw him go down, put my lights on him. It ain't him. So I get out. He's like, what you need, man? What you need? So I said, listen, dude. And I explained the situation to him. I'm like, if you don't mind, just give us a little while. If you could just kind of hang tight and just give us a little bit. Oh, yeah, no problem, man. No problem at all. Y'all do, pro-police, baby. Do your job. Got it. Understood. I said, all right, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So I back out. And I'm thinking cover's blown now. Probably not going to pick up on anything else, but we'll give it a shot, right? So I back down almost to the same place where I was before, killed my lights, and I'm sitting there. 20 minutes later, maybe, I see a figure on this side of the road pop out. Cross the street. I got him. Let's go. Sure enough, I pull down the driveway. It's the same dude. I'm like, damn, bro. So I get out, and needless to say, as I could say this to just about every single person that I've ever met in my life, he was a bit taller than me. So I'm like, dude, didn't I tell you just give us a little time? Oh, bro, my bad. Listen, I'm going to go inside. All right, I'm going to go inside and let y'all do what you got to do. I said, okay, I just want you to understand you're irritating me a little bit here. You have an open container in your hand. I don't want to get petty with you, but if you don't mind, carry your ass somewhere so that we can do this. Y'all call and complain about this violent dude all the time. Just let us get him off the street. All right, yeah, you're right, man, no problem. Off he goes. So my partner's giggling at me now because he knows I'm a little irritated. I'm like, piss off, go get in your unit, go park back where you were. So that's just kind of the relationship that we had. So I went back, got my unit, drove back down the road. Pull over on the side of the road. Man, it was freaking no time. Maybe 10 minutes. Pops out. I'm like, this has got to be him. I'm going to wait for him. He hasn't moved yet. He's just standing there. Come to find out, he was standing there looking to see if he could see where the hell I was before he trotted his ass right across that street one more time, and I went down behind him. Same fucking guy.
Jesus.
So I get out the car now, and my partner had pulled up behind me. It's like he knew what time of day it was. I opened my door, slammed that freaking door shut, and I went off on the guy. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Is there some part of the English language that you're not understanding what I said, nope. I know what the problem is. How fucking tall are you? I'm 6'2". Still had the beer in his hand. I'm 6'2". I said, I understand what the... Bend over just a little bit. Come here. Get a little closer to me. And when he did, I caught him by the fucking ear, and I drug him over to my unit, and I got up on my push bumpers, and I stood him up. I said, now, can you fucking hear me now? Can you fucking hear me now? Carry your ass into your house with your beer and go to bed. Get the hell off of the street and go to bed. So the porch light comes on. His mama busts open the freaking door, that screen door on the front of the house. She busted open that screen door. She was in some fucking moo-moo with a rolling pin in her hand. And I'm like, oh shit, God damn it, here we go. Mom's gonna come out and I'm gonna have to spray her. She's trying to beat me in the head with a freaking rolling pin. She come walking out on that porch. I done fucking told you, Junior. I done told you. That's right. Get in his ass. Now, because you got to come in the house now, because he ain't gonna let you go back down that fucking driveway. Come, as soon as you walk in this, I'm gonna split your fucking head wide open. I said, I think I need to let you go now, because she's about to do more to you than I ever could. So
Go see Mama.
I let it go. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Mama. Please don't hit me. Mama, please. I'm sorry, sir. Mama, please don't hit me. I'm sorry, sir. And he's walking in. I'm standing on the push bumpers, look like fucking Superman. I got my hands on my hips, like I've actually accomplished something. I turn and look over my shoulder, and the dude, my partner's just standing there with his freaking. Thank God we didn't have YouTube or cell phones and cameras, because he'd have got a picture of that. He got a picture. He's laughing his ass off, and he told that story so many times. So I had to absolutely let him know he was a lying son of a bitch, because that story never took place, ever, ever, at all.
Yeah, it's like some stories I have from me and my buddy chasing cows, loose cows, and it's like, fuck. I said, you drive, and I'm like sitting on the push bumpers. We're hauling ass down the road while I'm chasing cows, riding on the push bumpers and stuff. That's country cop stuff, people. All you big city cops, y'all listening, y'all don't have to do that. But yes, and still today, we still get loose livestock complaints, horses and cows.
We do it all. We do, listen, I there's zero doubt.
We had some that one area when I first started here, go out there, and we had some fucking longhorns that got loose.
Oh.
You know, I mean, big ones. I'm talking, you know, the horn spread on them was probably 6 to 8 feet or something.
Harley Davidsons.
Yeah, just ginormous. And
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I looked at that rookie that was with me. I said, go run over and scare the cows, make them run back over there. He looked at me. I said, they're docile. I don't know why he believed me and jumped.
Dropped out of the fucking car. Yeah.
I'm sitting there looking like this thing take off the whole front of the car if it wants. He just jumped out. I thought they're docile. Trust me. Thank God they didn't attack him because I had to explain. Well, you see what happened. You see what happened?
We had a guy that thought. Well, so we get called to a cow out or whatever, and he had been a reserve officer and he was coming full time. A good friend of mine. He didn't ride with me. We just never really wanted that conflict of interest kind of thing.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was the primary training officer, so when he went full time, he was going to come to me. So we were riding together, and we made it clear, hey, we know each other. We're tight in this, that, and the other. And like, oh yeah, we know. Just do what you got to do. So we did. He was riding with me, and we were working in the eastern portion of our area, and on the levee side by the river, they keep cows. They apportion parts of those property and keep cows back there. So we're driving along, and some guy who was working, the other guy that was working there, there's only two of us. So the other guy that was working there was ahead of us by maybe, I don't know, a quarter mile or something like that. And the cows were like getting kind of active, and you could just barely see them in the headlights. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I know. They must think he's coming there to feed them. So every once in a while he'd turn his top lights on, and I'm like, is he trying to do a traffic stop on a heifer? What the hell is going on here? Well, the next thing you know, we hear the radio key up, the actual police radio key up, and all we hear across the radio is "mrrr."
He thought
he thought he picked up his PA.
I was going to say he thought he picked his PA.
He thought he picked up his public address mic. So dispatch comes back and goes, I'm sorry, what? And he just went ahead and swallowed the pill. At that point, he's like, I'm sorry.
Wrong mic.
Wrong mic. Hot mic, my bad. So my buddy sitting in the car was just rolling. He just thought that was fucking hilarious. So we're driving on top of the levee and whatnot, and as we get down towards the area of where it was that he did what he did, my friend thought it would be smart to do the same thing, but actually do it correctly. He snatches up the PA system, and I kept my mic was wide open. It stayed wide open all the time. So he picks up the PA mic, keys up, and goes, "Mrrr." I know now why those heifers were acting the way that they were. They started charging us. Like they were bumping into the side of my car. And I had never experienced anything like that before. I mean, we had rodeoed cows, get back in the pen, that kind of crap. But this was the first time I'd ever been attacked by a heifer. So I'm like, I slapped the mic out of his hand. I'm like, stop that shit. And I gas it, and we take off. And they were just running behind us, trying desperately to catch up with us and knock the paint off my shit. So lesson learned.
Yeah, don't piss off the cows.
Don't piss off the cows.
I think I might have, people that listen, I've probably said this story before. The guy called Coon, he passed away. That was my partner. Good guy. It's like way back in the day when we first got, they first gave us like pepper. We started out with pepper spray.
Pepper spray, yeah.
We first you got to understand, when cops get new toys, they let them play with it.
We got to play with it.
Yeah.
It's just like dads at Christmas.
They gave us pepper spray. We'd spray everything. Like I said before, we sprayed a frog. Frogs don't get affected by pepper spray.
So then you wonder if it works.
Yeah, but we'd spray just about, we'd spray anything, that had eyeballs on it and see if it worked.
Yep.
Well, he got called to an animal complaint, and it was a big-ass stud bull.
Oh.
A big one. He rolls up and rolled his window down and turned around and looked at him. And he was on his driver's side, of course, and he sprayed that bull with his face with that pepper spray. Well, the bull didn't like it.
I can't imagine.
It jumped on top of the hood of the car and went to the other side of the car.
That would be what is called an indicator.
Then it continued running. It went into a brand new barn this man was building. Went out the back of the barn that didn't have a door.
until the bull
went through.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
went through 2 barbed wire fence, and he was like, "Oh shit, we gotta go."
I'd been like, damn, this shit really works. Look at that. That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
it's like, so don't play with your pepper spray or freeze or anything on large livestock like that.
Or for just a
Don't
second,
work.
I thought you said don't play with your pecker. I'm like, where is this story going?
No, the
understand.
pepper spray. Yeah, I sprayed. I had a dog charge at me one time. Sprayed it. It backed off for about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And come back pissed off. You
Yeah,
hear me?
mad.
So yeah,
Now it's mad.
Yeah, it was extremely mad. So wasn't a good thing on dogs.
Yeah, and now it's trying to explain to you exactly how angry. I've done that myself. I've sprayed. It's like it doesn't seem to
No.
affect dogs like talking about.
It was just for a few seconds, but it wasn't long enough.
Wasn't long enough for a little short-ass person like myself get fucked away with my dog.
Or me. So, yeah, we used to spray all kind of stuff with it. I can't just... Then we, your buddies, in the...
Oh, here you go.
In the store or something. It's like you go up there underneath the door handle or something.
Oh, without doubt.
Or
yes.
if when they're not looking, you spray it up in their air-conditioned vent
in
in
the
the
vent
top.
cross top, the intake. Oh, yeah.
We used to do
Oh, yeah.
shit.
We used to, because they provided us with unlock kits. We'd have to unlock people's vehicles and shit.
Still do.
Yeah. So, and a Ford, at the time, Ford Crown Victoria was the easiest damn thing on the face of the planet.
Best police car ever made.
I agree, except for the locking mechanism, because apparently you could open it if you farted next to it. The damn thing would unlock.
Well, Ford still today, Fords are the easiest cars to
ones get
open.
in.
Yeah.
Yes. So unlock that thing, and we'll get in it. If they leave a spare key in it, they turn it on, turn the radio up, turn the heater on in the summertime. All kind of shit like that, and then spray the door handle and spray the steering wheel. Like, we'd spray that shit everywhere. Like, there was no way to get around what we would do to those cars, period. We'd spray the spare key.
Yeah.
We'd spray the spare key, everything in there, the dashboard, the steering wheel, the whole fucking 9 yards. Of course, we thought it was hilarious unless it was our car.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's an issue.
Oh, yeah. Or it's like, low man on a totem pole, you're arresting somebody and somebody done hosed them down. It's like, you going to
Yeah, you got to transport this
guy. Because you're gonna get it. You're going to get it in that vehicle.
Or the ones, if they arrest them, put them in the back of the car. Maybe they weren't handcuffed yet or something like that. And when you open the car for them to get out, ding, ding, the fight's on.
Yeah.
And now they spray the person in the back of your car.
That's just wonderful.
Handcuffed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, because then you're like screwed. Now you got to hurry up and run around to your side, unlock the door.
Drive to jail with your windows down.
Yep.
Not theirs.
No, not theirs. Yours.
Well, some departments actually have the bars on the back
bars on the
windows now,
windows,
so you can roll them down.
Yeah, we couldn't do that.
I'm surprised they don't put them on there.
I don't know, but we had bird cages for separation. I've seen dog kennels.
Yeah.
With better quality than
Well,
that
I mean, way back in the day, I had cages, there was just, the whole thing was like that. I mean, they could spit on you and all kind of shit.
Oh, I've been spit on.
You know?
Many times was I spit on.
So, the new cages are way better. So, yeah.
They even have the cute little sliding glass, like the glass slides. No, when we finally got smart, I say we, that's everybody that was not in a uniform patrol vehicle, because we got smart real quick after about the first fucking time we got spit on. After everybody else got smart and said, oh, well, our guys are getting spit on. Yeah, then we had the plexiglass that was zip tied to the cage.
Well,
yeah.
You'll probably remember these cages. That's the first time I ever even thought about it in this many years. That
You're welcome.
The whole glass, the whole back part, it was metal.
Yeah.
But the top part was like thick plexiglass.
Yeah.
But you get it, grab the latches and do it, and the whole back, the whole part would fold down like it was, so it would be like open.
You don't ever see those anymore.
I don't know what the point of that was, because.
Oh, there was a point, all right. Some brilliant people those cages did not last at all.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll tell you. I know where he's going with this.
Yes.
It's because sometimes, and I'm not speaking from experience.
No.
You'd have law enforcement people that would be doing stuff on duty they wasn't supposed to be doing, like having sex with women.
Oh.
and they would dumbasses would lock themselves in the back seat of their own units and couldn't get out.
Correct.
That
was usually right after the warranty ran out on the separation cage.
Yeah, or but I mean, like I said, I've never done that, but I know I've heard about some stories where some guys have had to, finally they would their buddy would find them because there was no GPS or nothing.
No, there was no GPS.
So it's like,
no cell phones.
I was like, I'd be like, smashed it out, picked the glass up, threw it back in or something. Or I just passed out and been paying for it out of my own pocket the next day.
There's no doubt. You're not catching me.
No,
it would not have happened if I were inclined to do such stupid shit, which I was not.
Oh, they've had plenty. Well, hell, they still have them getting caught.
Have plenty of them.
I just saw one on TikTok recently. I mean, the guy ended up getting fired, and some guy was up on some water tower or something like that, and I guess the cop didn't see him, and the cop pulled up there with some chick, and she was blowing his ass out there.
Well, okay then.
I was like, yeah, he lost his job.
Film at 6.
No, it was film on TikTok. But it's like, No.
All of this social media stuff, good grief, it's everywhere, man. Everywhere. I wish there would have been social media with some of the stuff that we did see and we did have to. But
you were probably like me. You started before there were cell phones, before there was social media.
Oh, we didn't have portable radios.
We didn't either. So we actually had to. I'm sure you did too. Once all this technology came out, you had to learn how to police a total different way.
Absolutely.
These younger guys we work with, they don't get it. It's like we used to have, but we didn't have backup. We didn't have. When you got out and you got to fight.
What the hell was that?
You couldn't call for help because the only radio you had was in your car.
You had to fight your way back to the car.
You had to do what you had to do.
Yeah.
I mean, now they're like, I'm like, what? The person got in trouble for what? I'm like, because it's so different from.
Yeah, it's a whole new world. There are some things though. So we had a call one time. It was, it was right next to a waterway, and the trees, they were growing trees on each side of the waterway. Beautification is what they called it. And called and said, "Hey, need you to be en route to such and such location." Was just an intersection near this particular waterway. He said, "There's a guy." And when you have that uncomfortable hesitation in a radio dispatch, you know that the person giving you this information is searching for the proper word to tell you. So, so you need to be en route for a person that is, standby. And when you get all of that and then you get a standby, it's a good one. This is going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. So I'm waiting. I hadn't even moved yet. You told me where the hell I'm going. I'm just waiting. Go ahead. So, Unit 56, whatever the hell it is. Need you to be en route because there's a suspicious person acting suspiciously in a tree. I'm like, okay. I'll be en route to the suspicious person acting suspiciously
in a tree.
In the tree. So I pull up, and it was a pretty big tree. Legitimately, there was a guy in the tree. There's literally a guy in the tree. So I get out, naked as the day he was born, in the tree.
He's in the tree. Call the fire department. Need a ladder.
I would need a ladder anyway. So the tree goes up straight up, and it forks out. Two main branches going out before you got into the individual small branches and whatnot. He's in the crotch of the tree, which is very indicative to the suspicious activity to which he was doing. I'm like, I get out, and the fire department's there. Other people are there. There's literally a lady standing there with her hand over this kid's eyes. I'm looking. I said, I've been doing this a long time. I really have. And you always tell people, I've seen it all. I hadn't seen it all. I had not. At that point, I had not seen it all. Because he was fully erect and was hammering home on the tree. He was fucking the tree. Straight getting down.
Was it like a hole in the tree?
Yes. I'm not joking. I'm not
They didn't
serious.
have no answer. Like God.
It came down to that's why I called it the crotch of the tree, because I literally had to get up there, and I had to explain to him, you either have to come down.
No, he was going to come.
Yes. He was going to come down. One way or the other, I have to get you out of this tree. So I convinced him, and it was in his best interest to get out of the tree.
He didn't have like moss around.
Yeah, I had wanted to take a picture of it because nobody was going to believe this story. Nobody was going to do it. But yeah, there was a hole with moss that was I'm like, I need a picture of this.
This was back in the day when we probably still using those old Polaroid
still Instamatic still shots. Yes.
And you couldn't use them all the time because it was your department would be like,
correct. They counted your.
Why are you going through so much film?
Yes, exactly.
It's like
exactly. And that's what I had too, so I couldn't, kind of like, damn, I want to waste a picture on this thing. But yeah, they counted every photo that we took. I wasn't a detective; I was a road unit. Detectives got to do all kinds of nice shit, like 35 millimeter, all that fancy stuff.
I remember when we went from that. Then they gave us these little bitty digital cameras at one point.
Oh yeah,
with the little cards in them and stuff like that.
Oh no, ours had the first one. The first one I got, the first digital camera that I got was like this freaking big. It had the actual LP album in there, and then they came out with one with little ones. Like,
yeah,
this,
it's I don't think about it, but coming up through technology, actually having computers in your cars and stuff like that, them kids wouldn't know what to do. Well, we are at the hour mark. I'm hoping he will come back and do this some more because he's got a lot of stories.
I got a few.
For everybody today, we're recording this on a Friday, and today is Bam's birthday, and my wife's gonna get pissed off if I'm just sitting here recording all night, which me and him could. So he's gonna have to come back another time, and we might have a get together or something.
You're getting a naughty no from the sidebar.
You don't want to come back? Oh, well, she's at work. I mean, she's on her way home now.
No back. You got to take your no-no back.
Take your no back.
Hold your hand out. Okay, well, there's that.
She gave me the sign language. She told me I was number one.
Yes.
So I hope everybody enjoyed the bumper jumper. Pretty sure he's going to come back. We're going to have some other people that's wanting to come on too. Forget the one guy told me what his nickname was today. I forgot. We got to come up with a nickname for the other guys. So we do have some more people going to be coming on with some stories. Bumper Jumper can come back with them. After that, we can go to the freak show and have some drinks. So, I'll show you all that in a minute. Like and subscribe. Hit the bells. Write a review. Go check out the new merch. I got it priced as low as it can go. I think on one of the shirts it's like 32-cent markup or something like that. So I'm not trying to make money on it. Just want it out there. Share the podcast with your friends, your frenemies, and come back Wednesday and to the live show. I think the whole crew's going to be in the clubhouse, and I still have that surprise for Freebird to give them. Y'all going to want to see that. Trust me. So stay safe, and I do have the outro. I'm not going to say it again because whole stare jumped me. You done said it twice. So he's like, I'm like, shut up. Let me find the outro because things move on me. Look at that. I'm going to give you all the was that the Jeopardy music?
Yeah.
Where'd I put it? Look at that. I lost it.
Look under Alex Trebek.
No, I'm not looking for that. There it is. All right. I'll be safe. Thanks for watching. And remember to smile because Iceman could always be behind you. We're out.